Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog Monday. Here we are again, episode 305. Hope you've all had a good weekend and all healthy, wealthy and wise, and no dramas over the weekend. Obviously some big stuff around the world. Victoria's back in lockdown. Poor old sister's stuck over there again for another 6 weeks, I think. So that's not much fun for all those poor people in Victoria. Thanks to some, well, there's no other way to say it, dickheads that don't care about other people. No matter what you do or don't agree with and how it's been handled as a nation, as a society, you should be doing things that don't affect other people or don't hurt other people. That's, there's plenty of religions out there that talk about this stuff. A lot of them don't actually preach what they or practice what they preach, but doing stuff that doesn't affect you might not like it, and there's plenty of us that are well and truly over COVID, and I'm sure that goes across the whole planet. There's thousands, if not millions, of people that are just sick to death of all the crap, all the poxy news reports on it, all the bullshit, all the politics, all that crap. Yep, we all understand that, but we need to get this thing done and dusted so we can get back to normal, and the only way to do that is we just need to stick together and one team. It's how they built the pyramids. They use slaves, but still it's being focused on one task is the only way it's going to work, and we need to work that out and just sort of put your own personal issues and personal wants and needs in the back drawer for the moment until we can get these people sorted. So hopefully that gets a little bit better for people in the next 6 weeks, I guess, and Victoria's got to suffer for. And then there will also be a roll-on effect to other people as well. I know definitely in the mining sector we've got people that come from Victoria. So I guess they've got to make a choice. Either they're going to go and be stuck at home with their family or be stuck over here at work around no family, no loved ones, and just keep working just so the big companies can make more profits. All they sort of suffer. So it's a tricky one, and there's no easy answer. I do feel for everyone that's stuck in that situation. So anyway, thinking of you out there, hope you're all okay. Did get out on the weekend. I managed to a bit of a stuff up. I just went out. I thought I'd go and do some beach, try and get some astro over the water. I thought that'd be a cool idea. Checked everything except the moon. I was still in last week's time frame in my head, and at work it was early rise for the moon, and then the late night was all clear. Obviously a week changed and I was I got out there at 3:30, I guess. Got down to Trigg Beach, found a really nice location, and it wasn't until I started shooting I went, Jesus, bright here, why have I got so, and I'm like, the street lights. Hadn't even looked up in the sky. What a dickhead. Half moon. So pretty much made it. I've had a look at the photos. There's I don't think I'm going to be able to get too much out of it. The moon's just too bright, and that's just trickled through the atmosphere, so you just can't see the Milky Way as much as you should be able to. So even with the street lights and the light pollution, I should be able to see a little bit more, but it was just not the right night. Crystal clear, all that stuff perfect, right timing, right location, everything except the moon on this occasion. So, but I did come up with some really, really nice sea shots with the street lights from Scarborough and Trigg Beach, orange street lights. So that orange sort of filtered over the water, and I did some 5 or 6 second shots, and so got some really nice photos of that. Used my tripod and me 3-legged thing and me 1DS as my subject foreground, and come up really good. So I did get some really good shots out of it. Just wasn't what I was aiming. Again, as always for me, my plan B seems to work out better than my plan A. So, but it is good. I was pretty happy again. It's the only chance I had to get out, so it had to be a night shoot because we've just got a lot of family stuff this week on the week off with Jack and everything. And even today I've been running around like a mad ass fly trying to get stuff done. So it's still good. I think no matter what you do, if you get out and shoot, it's always a good experience. A, mentally, just to be able to go and switch off life. B, to keep practicing, to get out, shoot. I've learnt a lot about this camera over the shoot, so that was really good. It still takes good photos. There's a couple of good photos, and you'll see it in the video once I get the video done, once I catch up. It's still capable of some really nice photos, like some really clear shots. It's the hardest part I had was knowing if I had a good shot, and I've still got to play around with that screen on the back to see if, because that's all you've got to check your image, and you've got to do it once. Obviously it's optical viewfinder, it's a DSLR, so you can't see the image you're gonna get. So if you don't get your settings right, you don't know. And then in the back, it's a pretty terrible LCD, so it's pretty hard to see if you've got something crystal clear and that. So I've still got a little bit of playing. There's a lot of learning involved in relearning this old technology. So I've got to suss that out. I was pretty happy with how it performed. Battery lasted. All those concerns I had about the battery were, all good. It lasted the whole night. I took a heap of photos. Took some photos of me M50 and stuff, which I wanted to do. I've got to do some more of that today for the M50 for one of the other videos. But yeah, it worked out really well. So definitely not a night wasted. It could have been better, as always. We always hope for the perfect night. I think I've only had a few of those, which you've seen if you've watched any of the videos on the channel. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. All worked out really well. So, and I got to go and shoot, and so that's always a plus. I don't think you can put anything like that. Excuse me. Rodeo. So over the weekend, obviously Friday and Thursday, it's been R5, R6, pretty much all weekend on social media. Sorry, I can't see anything out of my glasses. And well, what's that song about Taylor Swift? Let the haters hate. Haters gonna hate. Holy crap! Some seriously negative people just crushing it, just going full cripple hammer on the Canon. And I don't really know why. It's I think when Canon announced it was going to be 8K and all that, everyone was really excited. Everyone said, "Oh, there's no way you can do it. That's all amazing, but it just can't do it in such a small phone. It's not going to be able to do it." Blah 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 blah. Well, look, people have taken 8K video with it. If you wanted to shoot pure video all day on 8K, well, then obviously you were in dreamland. It was never going to happen. It obviously has time constraints due to heating. That's just the size and the form factor. It's a smaller camera than this. It's got a smaller body than this. And like just the fact that it can shoot 8K for 20 minutes is just insane. Put aside all your thing with the friggin' CFS card. And that was my biggest complaint with it, why you had to have you had one CFS Express and then one SD. Well, I did watch another video today where a guy went some landscape. He's a video guy, and he was really impressed with the 8K. He wasn't concerned at all about the timing. He did 8K footage, and he was, 20 minutes he was quite happy with that. He was impressed with the fact that it swapped from card to card. So if as soon as you'd swap from video over to stills photography, it would swap from your CFS Express straight over to your SD whenever you're shooting stills. So it didn't use any of that CFX. So that sort of, there are some good things in there in relation to the cards. That's probably about the only question I had. Why only one SD? If you're going to spend $6,000 on a camera and you're going to whinge about a $500 SD card, well, I think you're buying the wrong camera. I mean, $500, it's like a 10%. It's not even, that's insane to whinge about that. But there's been a lot on there that have, it's going to overheat. And there's a lot of been around about the overheating at 8K and 4K. So, and I don't think that's really warranted until you get the full tests. And there's a few guys on there have gone on YouTube and they're all talking about, there's a pre-production units as well, so it's not 100% and blah blah blah. So, but it's pretty insane to see how quickly social media and the internet can turn on. If they don't want to, if it's not what they wanted, bang, you're done for. They just come hard at you. And I was quite surprised, actually. Tony Northrop went to town on them, saying it was basically just shit and crap and all that sort of stuff, and just he just went full negative. And I listened to him for about 5 minutes, and I normally don't mind watching his videos, but he was just out of control for a guy that they're in his studio and they're filming. That's about the only time he's going to use video, apart from a bit of vlogging. So there's no way any of the overheating things really going to affect him. Jeez Christ, man. So I just unsubscribed from him. He's been really negative in the last 6 months and nothing really positive out of him. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed with the way he looked at it. It was a pretty crap video actually. But there's been a heap of those and a heap of people just gunning for it. So it was a bit of a shame. I think, I've asked some questions. My main questions were, I flicked off a message to Canon just to find out about the weatherproofing. Obviously with this 1D range, these are robust as hell. You can drop them. They're built for pros. And that's the sort of information I wanted to really know about, is the fact that can I go out shooting in the rain, especially nowadays, mobile phones are waterproof. 30 minutes underwater and all that. Obviously, I don't want to go underwater directly with it, but as a landscape photographer and guys that shoot in the landscape, they're going to probably be using that 45 megapixel sensor. Being out in the rain is pretty important stuff. So weatherproof is a big question, and that's something they just hadn't touched on, and that's the sort of information I was after, not the... who really cares about 8K? I mean, it's great you can crop in and do stuff, but yeah, it was pretty full on. So anyway, that's enough about that. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of it, and we're probably going to hear more about the R5 and R6, but they both look fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Not that I can afford one. Good luck to all the people that can afford to buy one to whinge about it. So that's a tough day when you've got 4 or 5 grand spare and you're going to whinge about what you're going to get. So, and the old comment, I guess, and it's the thing, if that's all you want is video, go and buy a friggin' video camera. There's plenty of 4K video cameras that'll film for hours on end. If that's what you want, all in small form factors. Sony makes them, Canon makes them. If you're video mode and you're buying a photography camera that shoots video, a hybrid, and it is a true hybrid, well then you really can't whinge about having some sort of sacrifice. Yeah, anyway, that's enough on that. Okay, now Icast started today. If you haven't heard of Icast, I do have some videos from the last year. I haven't done a preview this year because it's been tricky to sort of get focused on fishing. I normally am super enthusiastic this time of year because I've come back from the Barra Classic. That obviously got COVIDized, and that smashed that one out of the park, which is unfortunate. But they're still doing online releases for most of the manufacturers, and if you're a wholesale retail person, they're doing. You can still sign up, I think, on the Icast website, and then go in and get all the new products and vote on them and check out that stuff as well. So, but the Shimano on YouTube, they're doing their Icast releases. They start tonight at 9:30. That's perf time, I believe, off YouTube. So it'll be about 10:30, 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and then just check your local YouTube. Just go to Shimano. I think that's through Shimano USA. You'll be able to get that, and that'll have all the releases for Shimano for the Icast. So that'll be really cool. So I should have some stuff tomorrow, possibly, for what we've got out of the Shimano stuff. And that's normally they're my favourite guys. The Calcutta DC, it's my favourite reel. I love it, and it's just I didn't get to use it this year, unfortunately. But so that's going to be cool. So going to be a heap of fishing stuff coming out in the next week, as of starting from today, when it's officially all open and ready to rock. So yeah, if you fishermen guys fisher people out there, just get ready. Here it comes. All your Christmas present plans can now be allocated space, I guess. Sony, big news on Sony's part. They've spent $250 million to get a share in Epic Games. So Epic Games are the guys that own Fortnite and other different brands. Big news, obviously, it's sort of good for Epic in regards to getting a big cash injection to spend on games. So let's make 1 or 2 games, I guess. That's about how much they cost nowadays. It's crazy. Sony, it sort of gives them a bit of a say and into their established program and make sure that Epic sort of keep, I guess, creating games for that Sony platform. The PlayStation 5 released, obviously the hugeness of Fortnite, that combination, the technology and the work together should be pretty good, so pretty interesting. Samsung, new leak from Samsung today. Buds Live. They're the little bean shaped, look like little jelly beans, new earbuds. Noise cancellation, black, white, and that new copper, same as the Note 20 that you would have seen floating around. They've been dumped out again early. Everything seems to be getting leaked. There's no way you can keep any secrets anymore. Secrets are well and truly gone. They're a thing of the past. So they look pretty cool. How they stay in your ear, you can only really see one side of it, and just to see that jelly bean shape, I'm assuming they have some sort of plug with a soft silicone bud that goes in and it'll sit on that internal side of your ear well there. So I think once they come up flush, then where you get the Apple Pro or the Apple Pods, they stick out and hang down. Well, these things are basically just going to sit in and lock that ear up solid. I think that form factor is made to basically sit in that ear. So they look pretty cool. Obviously, interesting to see the specs and go from there. But you'll see a picture on the thumbnail anyway. You get a bit of an idea. You can go do a bit of a look-see and suss it out if you're a Samsung person. World's biggest SSD released today as well, or over the weekend. Now, SSDs, fantastically super fast. Now, it's the way hard drives, old disk-type hard drives are pretty much really just still there, I guess, for cheap, large storage. So if you want something for home to back up everything, and you're not in a rush, you can just log your computer on, let it run for a couple of hours and back everything up, which is what I do. I've got a WD that's still got a disk, but that's 6 terabyte, I think, or 6 or 10, 6 terabyte, and it was like $300, so just ridiculous price for that much storage. So that's really, really good. SSD is so much faster. They're changing laptops, computers. They've changed the way we do everything. And you can see the difference, like in the MacBook 16-inch, it's just so super fast because of that SSD. Well, they've brought out the Exa drivers brought out 100 terabyte SSD. That's right, 100 terabyte. That's insane, isn't it? You wouldn't imagine that we could get that big, but it's just so fast now. It's just insane. Big problem, $40,000 for the one drive. They reckon it's pretty much the boys over at Lule, they were saying it's more proposed for like servers, so you can stack these little tiny disks into a server module and you can have petaflops of data storage. Obviously, cost isn't an issue when it's commercial and business, so it's more so having to have a massive space with all these hard drives where you can have all these SSDs now, stack them all together, and you could have like 1,000 terabyte in a spot that big. So that's insane. It might have taken like a spot this big, so pretty cool. Obviously that technology will then flow down. SSDs are slowly getting cheaper and cheaper, and the next 5 years I'd say I'll be replacing that big hard drive on disk with, say, a 10 terabyte SSD that'll sit at home and probably cost the same $300 that this one did in probably only 5 years. It won't take long, I'm sure. Thunderbolt 4, the guys at I think it's Microsoft that own the Thunderbolt brand and the technology. Well, Thunderbolt 3 we've got out, but we've also got all the USB-C type cables. As I think the boys at Lula's were talking about 5 or 6 different types, and it's just mayhem trying to work out what. So Microsoft are talking about creating a Thunderbolt 4 cable. So it's one cable to basically that'll work with everything. It'll be multilingual, I guess, in the data and transfers the space. And what that'll do, it's still going to give you basically the similar speeds to, say, Thunderbolt 3, which is like 20, 30, 40 meg a second or whatever, which is really good. But what it'll do is allow you to plug that in and it will talk to USB 3, USB 2, USB whatever. Whatever device that normally a pain and just doesn't work and doesn't sync properly when you plug it in. Well, this will basically work with everything, and you can have one cord up to 2 meters long, they're talking, and that will do everything. So you can just plug that into your computer, into your Thunderbolt port, and then plug this into everything, and no matter what it goes into, it'll work. So that's really good. Great to see we get some sort of, how do you call it? Just some more isolation. I mean, having 50,000 different cords is just ridiculous. Having one set standard, that's what we wanted, that's the words, one standard is really good. And I think if all the companies can get together and look, it doesn't matter who's got it, I'm sure they'll make more money out of it, Microsoft, but look, it works, we know it works, and we know it's really fast. So just accept it, let's get on it, and then just make everything to suit, so that'd be cool. And Rivian, lucky last. Rivian has raised another $2.5 billion US, just ahead of its launch in 2021 of the Ute, the Rivian Ute. We've talked about this many times. I'm a big fan of electric vehicles, scooters, skateboards, all that stuff. I think it's, well, even as a diesel mechanic, I think it's definitely the way of the future. I don't think we've got electric trucks. We've had electric trucks in mining for probably 10, 20 years now. Obviously the size and the weight, it makes it a little trickier, but the better we get, the better it's going to be, and that's better for the environment and costs and everything. You still got to fix stuff till robots can think for themselves and get that opposable thumb working. I'm pretty safe in a job. But yeah, Rivian, massive company. Obviously, you got the big boy Tesla, world's biggest company now, car company. You got Rivian coming up probably as the number 2. Then you've got the new big tech, Nikola, that's coming in and raised a $26 billion in its first week. Well, Rivian, I think, is going to do pretty well. Ford own a big share of Rivian. They've jumped in again on this one as well. I think they've dumped some more cash into them. That's just smart because Ford's struggling and they really were late to the electric game. They left it, didn't think it was going to happen, and I guess they thought, like most companies and technology companies, think that no, they're going to last forever. Well, they're not. We've already talked about the F-150 having a Rivian chassis and battery setup, so that's already locked and loaded. That's a deal they've got going. Well, some big investors are coming on this. George Soros, the Soros Group, which is that George Soros, that multi-billionaire that I think everyone hates, but he's obviously made money out of it. He's pretty smart. Amazon's dumped some more money into this, so they're covering their bases on that. They've obviously got plenty of spare cash, so Bezos is jumping on that as well. And BlackRock, which is the world's biggest investment firm. I know because I've got some super with them. My super goes through BlackRock, and yeah, they're worth like $5 trillion or something ridiculous. So as an investment company, there's no bigger than them. So if they're getting on this, there's obviously got some sound business ethics involved, and they're doing the right thing to get that sort of money thrown at them. So another $2.5 billion. Their Ute gets, the twin cab Ute and I think the wagon get released 2021. So that's 6 months away. I'm not sure, we haven't got a locked in date as that yet. So be aware of that one. The Nikola Badger, we know, I think it was November, December. We talked about that with the tickets if you pre-ordered. So we've got some electric Utes coming out December. So I'm assuming early 2021 we're going to hear from the Rivian. That's going to be a huge worldwide release, and that's going to be a big deal. Equivalent to one of Tesla's ones. So very, very cool. Great to see actually some of these companies investing in that. The more the money gets pumped into this electric, the quicker and faster it's going to develop and get cheaper, so we can all afford it, because unfortunately still a bit exy at the moment. Even for Tesla in Australia, they're like 150, 160 grand, so that's well out of 90% of the population's means by far for a car, but we'll get there. But yeah, the Rivian Ute looks really, really exciting and can't wait to see it in the wild. Rightio, that's about it. been a good Monday, good weekend, lots happening. There's still a bit more there, so I had to hold back. I didn't want to make this a 2-hour video, and I didn't want my camera to overheat. Right there, guys. Anyway, stay safe. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. Whether you're going that way, see you tomorrow.